Hey guys, so today we have a Jeep Wrangler JL model. It's a short wheelbase, but it should be the same procedure for a long wheelbase as well. It's already actually got a dash cam installed in it, and this is a USB powered dash cam, so the cable comes along here, and this handle fits here. It has two 10mm bolts in it, which go here and here, which have been taken out to pull the cover off. This is the cable, USB cable that's running from the camera. It runs underneath here, and at the moment it's got a small USB extension on it, and that allows me to go into the cigarette lighter. The problem with this one is that it only powers on when the cigarette lighter is on, when the car's running, and then so there's no power when the car is off. So we're going to give the car a bit of an upgrade. This is a 4K camera instead. The one that's on there is only 1080p. And the other thing we're going to try and do is install this extra harness that we bought. The camera itself just comes with your normal USB-C to USB-B cable, just like the one that's in the Jeep right now. But what we want to do is install this hardwired cable in. It has a ground positive and an accessory. The idea is that the accessory will keep the camera running while it's driving, but the permanent power allows the camera to be used in parking mode. So when nobody's there, if somebody hits the car or if there's excessive movement, whatever you want to set it for, it will start recording and pre-record 30 seconds or whatever the case may be. So now the problem is to get these wires. The best thing to do is to go into the fuse box, and so we have some jumpers here which are fuse tappers. The kit comes with two of them, different sizes. That's the old style bigger fuses, and this is the new style with the micro fuses. And so we need to run this cable, so we're going to try and look for where we can run the cable from the camera to the fuse box. So what I managed to do is, this is the Australian version. It's the right-hand wheel drive rather than the left-hand wheel drive, which it is in the US. The fuse box is in this corner, and the American version is on that corner over there. So I've written down the fuse numbers that I need. So I'm going to use the wiper fuse here, and which will be the accessory one, and the permanent one, which I'll pick up from the seat or one of those. So we'll need to, these are all positive as well on the side in case you need them, so that can be work as well. Anyway, you run the cable along here, and this cover has 4 bolts in it, 2 at the side and 2 that go on the top here. So when that cover comes off, you can see that there's wires running along here, through here and up here, and I've actually put a screwdriver here to see where it comes out, and it actually comes out on the inside of the car on the other side. So the screwdriver actually comes out here, so which means then I can just run the cable down, up and then to the camera, and that should be a nice neat install. So because the job is a bit tight, so I'm gonna pull out one of the fishing lines that I've got. So I've got 2. I've got this one here. I'll see if that works. Otherwise, I do have another one somewhere. These are normally used for inside the walls, but they should be okay for what we want to do today. So here we can see the difference between the cables. That's one of the cable types, and that's the other one. So we're going to see whichever one works best, because it's a bit of a tight spot on the Jeep, and then we'll rig the wires in and pull them out. So one of the problems I've just noted is that the extension cable or the hardwired kit that I've got has this thing box in between, which has 2 purposes. One is it converts the 12-volt signal into 5-volt signal for the camera. Second, it has a display and it has a low voltage protection on it, so that the camera doesn't keep on running if the battery on the Jeep is really low, which is actually a good thing. So it's got different settings on here, what the lowest voltage you want to be set at. So we'll be doing that. But the problem is that this box, I can't put it on the inside. There's no space to put it along the pillar or in the roof panel, and it's going to look a bit ugly if I put it in the fuse box area. So I might have to put it here and hide it alongside these other cables behind that cover. The only issue is obviously if I need to have a change the low voltage protection, then I'll have to take that cover off and then adjust it from the side, so I won't have access to this box. But it's got enough wire on both sides. That side goes to the camera and that side goes to the fuse box. It's got enough wire to do that, and that's the plan, to leave it in there. So inside the door pillar, I've been trying to get the fishing wire through. Here's the screwdriver that I've poked through the other end, so it is actually coming from here and then through out here. So there is a hole, I just can't see very well. So I've decided to remove this rubber panel, and it's basically, you have two of these bolts in there. You need a proper tool so that you don't damage these plastic bolts. And hopefully they should come off now, and we should get some better access. It's definitely moving. So I can't get access easily, so what I'm gonna attempt to do is I'm gonna pull the screw. Here's the end of the screwdriver, here, and the screwdriver is coming in from the other side. So what I'm going to try and do is pull the screwdriver back, and at the same time I'm going to be following the screwdriver end through with the fish, and then I'll be able to pull the wire through technically. Let's see if that works. So yeah, that did work. So what I did was I put the screwdriver through first, then I taped the end of the screwdriver with the fishing wire, and then I pulled everything out together back out. So this is the end of the fishing wire. What I'm going to do is attach the USB-C to this now and slowly pull it back in, pushing the wire behind it. So when it comes out the other end, we'll be able to route it to the camera, and then we'll do this side. So slowly it's working. So now I've wrapped the USB-C connector to the end of the fishing cable. I'm going to feed it through and pull it out the other side, but I'm going to keep pushing from this side while I'm pulling the fish so that it doesn't kind of break halfway through. Okay, so we have success. The USB cable is out, and all we have to do now is pull some more of that through and follow it up and around to the dash cam. Let's see how that works. Yum, yum, everyone. Okay, so the new camera is installed. The USB cable is running underneath the dash here. Oh, is there something poking out? Let me just check that, push that back in. I don't know where that came from. That's not actually the USB cable. But anyway, so it's running across under here and then out through here. I'll put a zip tie with another cable. That cable is now running down and then it's going out. So now we're going to do the stuff on the outside. Also at this point you want to connect the battery and check the camera is working and the orientation is correct and the angle is correct in case you need to move this. Okay, so now the tricky part of the job. Well, it's not tricky really. I mean, if you take the fuse box cover off, you actually have all the details of what fuses are. So we're looking for two fuses, one that's live all the time and one that's live only when the ignition is on, which switches on the camera during running, and the other one is for the parking mode. So what we're going to use is one of these testers. They're pretty cheap to get. You can get one from Amazon or anywhere else. So just as an example, the clip goes on the negative, and if I touch the positive, it lights up. It also has a reverse detector, this particular one, so it's lighting red. But if I do it the other way around, if I put the reverse on, then it lights up green. So you actually also know whether it's which way the polarity is. So what we're looking for is something that will light up red. I do know, so that is the wiper. So F21, so that's lighting up. So that's live right now, and the car is actually off. So now we're going to look for something, switch on the car and see if it comes on. So there's going to be a bit of testing going on. Also look at the reference table. Let's see if we can find two nice fuses. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is lock the car, and then we'll wait a few minutes to make sure that there's no lights on the inside are on, because we don't want, so like right now I can see the Jeep display is on. We want nothing on. When everything is secure and there's no lights anywhere on the dashboard, it's all gone quiet, that's what we want to see, if there's which of these fuses has power to it. So while the car was locked, I was trying to find out which terminals had power. Now, when the hood or the bonnet is closed, these two pins are depressed. But when they're opened, it actually sets the Jeep alarm off, and we don't want that to happen. We want it to simulate where everything is closed and it's in parking mode. So I'm going to put a clamp on these two, press down, and then we're going to try the same thing again. Because as soon as you release the clamp, if the car's not been opened with the key fob, it'll set the alarm off, and we don't want that situation. We don't want to get a wire on here that is only on when the alarm is off or the hood is open. Okay, so we put a clamp on there. Both those buttons are depressed, and we're going to lock the car again, and this time the Jeep is going to think that the hood is closed, which is what we want. So I'm going to give it a minute just so everything settle down, and then I'm going to try some testing and see which pins have got power. So the car's been off for a while, and I've found this one fuse here, which is, in my case, it's F43. So it's not focusing, which is the power outlet cargo battery. So if I use that, it's live, and so we're going to use that one as the permanent on. Now we need to find one which is only on. So I'll look for some fuses which are off, and I'll see if they come on when the ignition is on, which is what we want for normal use. Okay. Off, on, off, on, on. It's also powered up right now. On, off. Off, 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 on. So the two wires we're going to go with is the cigarette lighter, and this one here, which is actually the amplifier. For some reason the amplifier is always powered on, no idea why, but the cigarette lighter only comes on when the accessory is on. So here's the final layout on the outside. The wires coming in here. Here's the excess wire just wrapped under there. There's the actual box. There, it's got the display on it, tells you what the voltage is. And then under here, along here, and then it goes into the fuse box. And there's your two connectors. Now I did run the negative wire, another small, that thin wire there, that's coming back from the negative lead because there's no negatives in here, back through here, and this, it's on one of these screws inside. So the negative goes there to here and then back through the USB. And that's it. So it's a pretty decent install. Once the cover goes on, you won't know anything that's there. I'll show you the inside in a second. Okay, so now we're gonna put there's the dash cam. The wire is going behind. It's gonna come down here. I'm gonna put this handle back on, and then the speaker grill will go back and everything will be back to normal. So screwing this one back in. There's one screw at the top and another one at the bottom of the handle, and that's it really. It's pretty simple. Where did I drop the other screw? There it is. Okay, so here's the other 10mm screw, and that's going to go in the bottom, or bolt. And then tighten everything up.